Hey guys, it's Steve here. This is gonna be raw, so it's nothing set up already. So just warning you ahead of time. Yes, I'm here as Representative Steve, Arden's Gaming, as I already said. I'm just gonna show you the one card combo of Gersu and probably like the testing. Yeah, so let's get started. So for Gersu, right? You know I'm summon Gersu. Send Nightmare. That's the optimal card to send. Nightmare. We're going to send this. So let's get them together. Nightmare to use his effect to summon out 2 tokens. So I'm going to use the token here for his side. We're not going to worry about the opponents. So link this off to Karibo. Buyout. So link Karibo. Then you're going to Galatea. Bio, gotta tell you. Then you use Galatea to go into a link cross. Booyah, link cross. Get your 2 tokens. That's 1 token. We're gonna use this as another token. So booyah, 2 tokens. Use link Karibo's effect. Pretty sure you use Nightmare to then dump your Skeletor. I like to call him Skeletor because I love you know, the old cartoon. So skeleton. You either here bring back Galatea or you bring back the Gersu. You know, I think these 2 all. To a blocker, or you could just, actually, to be honest with you, take it a step back. You could just bring back the Galatea instead, and then you link this one off. These 2 off. Keep your link Karibo, that and a token, into this, because they're 2 different, the monsters with 2 different names. So, bio. Then you go to Buddha. My fault. And that's why I said everything is kind of raw. So use effect of Bardish. We're gonna put, looking for the ancient cloak. There you go, ancient cloak. Ancient cloak to the grave. Preferably to set I don't know why I grabbed the Babel. I'm moving ahead of myself. It looks just like the Babel because they're both super rares. Buyout. Set this. Most optical. Then you banish the ancient cloak to search solid boots. Special. I will summon back out the Gersu. But I want to summon underneath Bardish. I'll summon somewhere over here. Everybody do their combos different. There's plenty of ways to do it. Summon the Gersu, skeleton. Then link these off. Into Oh shit. Right next to it. IP, right here. Now you still got this zone open over here on the bodies. And you have the Gersu and your skeleton and gray. So you use your silent boots to search. Just in case your opponent has something like a Levineer or whatever the other card is, the Master Beast or something like that, that like spins the card back. Yeah, search that Fall Blade. I'm not sure what the card really does. Not sure if it activates a hand or for field, but anything that activates on field, Fall Blade is gonna stop it. So you have these two. Your board essentially would look like this. So yes, that's the one card Gersu combo. Let me get you into a test hands so we can show you like the machinas. I wish I could like learn editing so I could like cut all this extra stuff out. But bear with me. My laptop has just been messed up and I have to update it anyway. Also, my desktop definitely needs to be updated. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I'll get to the editor. That's what's been taking so long because I got the computer the desktop is first, but then I end up having to update it and all the other extra stuff, and my laptop ended up breaking on me, so I had to get that fixed. And then I'll have to get my PlayStation 4 fixed because for some reason it's not reading discs. And I had a laser cleaner and it didn't work, so it's still having issues. It's mainly like it won't take the disc, like the tray is broken or something. So let's try this test hand. I did a little quick shuffle. I'm not doing that extra long shuffle. So see, essentially you open up. Hey, your Gersu, a few darks. So your Allure's live. People mostly say they don't like to use Allure, but that's mainly if you're running like the Dragoon package, because that means you draw into your pieces, your bricks. For me, I'd like to start off with the Allure, just to see if my opponent has Ash. Every more attempted, that let me know if they have a hand trap. Depends on how they react to this, if they have any interactions for my combo. So that's why I like to draw Allure first. And then you draw a Fall Blade, and well, look, you drew 2 PK cards, more interruption, not as less cards you have to search. And then you essentially use your actual PKs to search the last of your other spell traps. So it's not bad, but it's not good as well because they don't further your combo. But sure, we got Carbo anyway. Google banish. Yeah, it really don't matter. We just banish the Jackalope. So put the banish cards here. Essentially do the same combo. You know, Gersu. This is your hand, obviously. In fact, the dump. You're gonna dump Nightmare, obviously. Dump Nightmare right here. Right, token. Okay, use that too. Mercury Ball. We out. Since you have a thing open, me, I would probably use this to bring back the Nightmare, so where I have more. Since it's a extender, you can just use it now. You don't necessarily have to use it for the scraps because the scraps, they're gonna bring themselves back like twice anyway without this card. So you're fine with this. Just using it right now. Bring Nightmare back here. You still didn't use any other your other effects. It makes this so much easier. So much easier. We're doing with test hands, it's so much better. You're going to Galatea like usual, you know. And I don't even think I used Galatea effect last time, but you know, essentially you will use Galatea effect, shuffling back the skeleton, not the Nightmare, the skeleton. Or you would get back the Nightmare and shuffle back the skeleton, which I did, I kind of like messed up on. So I'm just letting you know now I messed up. So you will use the Galatea, the link cross, like the previous play. Link cross is pretty busted now in this format. For the way that you give yourself these extra tokens, ridiculous. Give me a second, grab my other tokens. I want to use my Kaiba tokens. So let's use the Kaiba tokens. You use one of your Kaiba tokens to come back from the grave. That Mankaribo Baya. So essentially, Boop for these two. Chobardis. So when you go into not Chobardis, but my fault, board blocker. So you can go to your board blocker, right? Essentially say you have another card you want to discard. Let's say I want to discard this because I already have two, you know, so I might as well just discard this to the grave. That way I can just search essentially. Because Bardish is going to dump another one anyway. So then you use these three because you'd like to keep your nightmare up just in case you open crescendo and you want to go into another egalitarian end. So these out here for your Bardish. Essentially the same thing all over again. With the Bardish, you're going to send the Sun Boots. You're going to set this guy because you already have the other guy. You necessarily don't have to shuffle because essentially what you're going to end up doing is you're going to banish this to search the last Fall Blade. And since you didn't use this other effect, when you use the Ancient Coat to search the last Silent Boots, that's why I played 3 all together because it's like a better ratio to play. That way you can still get the special summon extender plus the search and all that. And right now I have literally all my Phantom Knights out of my deck. So you see how I did that with just one test hand? You got all the Phantom Knights. Now this is your hand now. That look pretty nice, don't it? Extender, interruption, interruption, interruption. So let's go ahead. And you got your Bardish here. You got your other set extender right there. Oh wait, did we use any Nightmares effects? I don't think we used any Nightmare effects. So since we didn't use any Nightmare effects, you can literally summon here. Here, you're going to bring back out here. Here, the extender in your hand. Down here. So right, you link these two off. Bow. Now your Nightmares engraved. 4, which pretty sure you didn't use any Nightmares on your carrier. This is more powerful combo because you get to lock your opponent out the extra deck. These are 2 darks, so that's why you essentially you summon this. But then you, what do I say, self tokens? Nope, don't say none of self tokens, so you can't use it. So anyway, that's what I was saying. You would then use your Nightmare effect. Banish it to get that Skeletor to the grave. Oh shoot, I don't know why I put the wrong spot. Since you got that free extender hand, you might special summon that extender right there. And then you go ahead about your business with that skeleton. And you bring that skeleton back right here. So essentially now you have your IP plus a Buster Rock. Plus you gotta tell what you're gonna shuffle back the skeleton to get your Babel, which I was supposed to do last turn, but I messed up. You know, it happens for that Babel. Activate that Babel, put it right here. And then essentially you summon the Gristle to get your Nightmare back in grave. So equip that Nightmare right to him. Essentially you summon him right here where you're gonna summon Aki Masquerena. link these off to that Masquerena. Just love her being dark. Buster card. Then you use your yin carry. Targeting your Bardish. Pretty sure. Because that's a card you can't link off of it. So you will put that Buster right there on that Bardish. So now you got 2 Fall Blades. You have 2 Fall Blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you could somehow 0 Boros, because these are 2 linked for, so that could be the 5th interruption. 6, 7 with the Bardish. You know. And then the reason why it's at 9 because you have 2 uses of your True King. So say you end your turn. Okay, I say these are set. Wow. 2 set Fall Blades. You set, what's the name? So let's say on your opponent's turn, you know, they try to do a little shenanigans. You keep your Masquerena. You don't have to use it because you have a zone here. So you use your Nightmare to put that skeleton right again. Which is kind of like this stop by, you can get stopped by Ash, but you know, if your opponent asks you, yeah. You know, the game's not completely over it. You got 2 Fall Blades. So you use skeleton. Bring back. So then here you would probably want to use the Aggressive Chain 2, Chain 1. I know I just did that backwards. You would put the skeleton in here so he could blow up the Aggressive to put the skeleton back in your grave. And then you could use this to go here above. After you get done, just let that chain resolve. Then you activate your rank up to go into your True Kings of Calamity. Also, you do not have to use Bardish here. You can use Bardish when you summon True Kings of Calamity because it's Dark XP as well. Fun fact. So, you have all these big interruptions, big monsters that your opponent most likely lock out the extra deck, no monster effects. What deck is going to play with no extra deck and no monster effects? You know, that's why I said this deck is pretty busted. Pretty good test hand. But as you can see, it was pretty fragile. And it requires, it's not as long as Dragon Links, but it can be, especially if a person don't know what they're doing. You know, I know sometimes I have, people mess up sometimes. But if you, every time you play the deck, taking forever, then you probably playing the wrong deck. Too complicated for you, you know. You just don't get the gist of the deck all the way, but that's no problem. We are human. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been up since, I don't know, yesterday, and it's like 7:30 in the morning, so I'm tired. But yeah, we're gonna do that test here. All right, shuffle one more time. Let's see what we get here. Okay, get a nice little starter, another Fall Blade. It's okay. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because you still have a starter. See, that's why I said I play so many starters, because you can have a bad hand with this deck, but it's rare for you to not open up not at least 1 starter. So I have a lot of times you open up 2 to 3 starters. So you have this, and your return. So let's say if I had a 6 card, my 6 card could possibly be an Orcust. You know, look, it's second starter. So the deck is not hard to get starters. But the warrior combos, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much similar. Don't really practice with this combo that much as often as YouTube, but since I'm like, let me see. Don't even have no darks in my grave and my hand. So I probably just get Armageddon Night. Wow. Yeah, everybody remember this guy. He's Big Daddy. Big Daddy of all the problem solved. The beginning of all the problems. How they all came about. She was in a dark nightmare. Then you can use Nightmare Effect to banish yourself. Just summon that one, or send that one. Use that one to bring that nightmare banishing itself. And then you go to that Galatea. Booyah. Sorry, I put that with my hands, but it's okay. We'll get it together. Galatea. Boom. Galatea Effect. Shuffle that back. Let's see what we get. I can't play 60 cards of this because 60 cards is too much. Look at that Babel. So now you got your Babel. You know, you pretty much set for the bull. You know, these is engraved. These is good. So say you wanna, what that wasn't on something. It would have been nice to get Kurt. See, that's why I say it's different because if you would use instead of Armageddon Night, you could have dumped the Fatal Night, searched the Brigadier Trap. That would give you another Darker Standard to go into Birdish. But you really don't need Birdish right now because you already have the Rake Up spell. So you just go into the Gristle. And the better thing about this is that you have a draw 2. Even though you don't have the effect you could use for that Gristle, but you could just use that return. That's why I said I played 3 returns. Because you never know when they come up, you know. I'll do a little quick shuffle before I draw 2 cards. See what I get. Buy out. Look, 2 more starters. And guess what? I can't really use none of them, but on the next turn, my next turn is going to be fire. Look at that. So what I would do is I would set both of these. This would be in the grave. With my Nightmare, which is going to come back next turn, which is going to give me a True King's Calamity. So they still got to do with a True King's Calamity, a Fall Blade, and then your next turn you're going to go off. Because they're not going to play. I guarantee you. They're not going to get over your king. The only way they could beat over it is, you know, if they could summon the Access Cold Talker and you just Fall Blade that and that whole sequence. So, yep, that's not testing. And that's why I said even with your sub-optimal hands, you can still make an unstoppable board. That's why I said once you go off, you go off. And like if you open up, like you see that hand that the card I drew into, I had opened up a hand like that going second once against Infernal Noble Knights in my tournament, and I literally bait every single one of the negations. I just needed one more extender, one of my bad cards to not be in my hand because I think I opened up the field spill. But if that card was a different card or a card I could utilize, man, I would have gone to go off, and then he was not going to be able to come back because I was going to take apart his board because he didn't have much, and then I was going to lock him out the extra day. Then essentially I was going to summon 0 boards to nuke the field and take the game because he banished cards as well. So deck's pretty stupid. It has a pretty decent matchup. It's like kind of like how Thunder Dragon and Altergeist was neck to neck with each other. That's how Orcust and I feel like Infernal Noble Knights are. It's just Orcust is way more a fragile variant than Infernal Noble Knights. Infernal Noble Knights, they got too many different starters, too many different things they could do, too many ways they could power through negations. Orcust could power through negations as well, but not as strong because a lot of cards are detrimental. A lot of the other cards are not detrimental. This is like a bad hand already, but it's okay because we have some type of starters. So let's see. The first thing I will use, I'll notice I have a dark, and I will use the allure before I use the return because you know, I could possibly draw 2 more darks. So draw a lure, draw 2, another earth, and a dark. Look at that. So now since I did that, I could banish the 1 off the lure with no problem. Look at the Nightmare essentially is 1. So bow. See how your hand just come together? Even though you do have 2 breaks in here, or 3, and you just draw more by discarding the Nightmare to actually play. So this is banish. And the grave. This is the last test hand that way. So you draw 2 more cards. Oh, look at that. Another return. And a jackalope. Okay, so essentially you still have combo because you could use your danger jackalope. I don't have a dice, but I do have a dice. My itty bitty dice. So let's say jackal. Then you just roll a dice. I'll just show card first. I like everything raw so you can't really tell what's going to happen. So it just helped me more on my deck building. 1. So we're going to say my opponent says this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from their perspective. You know, so I'm going to take that 1. Oh, look at that. Machina. This is such a great card to put in the grave. Because now if you have any scraps, this card's coming back. Special. Draw 1 card. Oh, look at that. You drew another danger. And this is jackalope this time. So we could use that again if we want to. But we don't need it because we're going to use the Nightmare. Where that 1 is at. To put another 1 in the grave. Because we essentially just only need a few cards. We could go into our other stuff. Or you could just put a skeleton to set yourself up for another play by using the jackalope. We go straight into Bardish. That's why I love the dangers for jackalope. You know, shuffle, reshuffle, boom, roll. You got a 5, roll again. So you only got 4 cards. Into 1, we're gonna take this 1 card, drop it. Oh look, this is jackalope. Can't do that with that. So it's cool though. It's fine. I'll keep putting this with the banish cards. So since I already put the skeleton grave, so that's why you should put the 1. Just in case of bullshit. That's why I don't want jackal, as you saying in the other profile. Jackalope is not. Well, chupacabra. I keep saying jackalope. Chupacabra is not optimal. But let's say I just had 1 instead. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I thought I was gonna get something spectacular off that one, but no. 1 is the best one anyway. It's guaranteed something. Skeleton is not. So skeleton a 1. Put those over there. You don't need to put skeleton grade now because Nightmare's gonna dump it on your opponent's turn. So you don't even worry about it. It's not that serious. Some of that first got to tell the babe. We use that babe effect to put that 1 back because you have 2 of them. So put that back, get that babble. You know. So now you can set 1 card, and then you have essentially really not that really because you don't have a Western grade, but that's fine because you have follow-up plays. You have a return, a Nightmare Engrave, but also for interruption you have a crescendo, which is pretty much a good card because even if you're going to survive the next turn, that's not even a fact that you're going to survive the next turn. But the point is, you can use your crescendo next turn to search your Gersu for another starter. You know, that Bigfoot could have been a Bigfoot or anything. This jackalope. If I would have summoned the Jackalope, I could have easily went to Bardish. But it's okay though. It happens, you know. And this is what I have. You probably say that the return is bad at 3. That's why you should play return at 3. But on the other hand, your return is live next turn regardless. You have a skeleton. You know, you have a 1 still engraved. Banished. You could just summon the Gersu on top of this, get the 1 back if you really want to. Like, let's say you want it in your turn. And it just said, forget the crescendo. I just want to make sure I have a place for next turn. You know, you could do that. But me, I wouldn't do that. I would make sure I'll be able to use my crescendo, because my crescendo at the end is going to search whatever I need for my next turn for this return. So essentially, these cards does give you starters together. A pretty bad hand. I should do one more. Let's see what time we at. My battery's getting low on my phone. We at 30 minutes. So yeah, that's it for the test hands. Hope you guys like it. So y'all have a good one. Stay safe. COVID-19. Stay distant from each other. Not just for yourself, but for each other. For each other. Other people's families as well. But y'all have a good and blessed weekend.